What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video on the channel. Welcome to some Forza Horizon 5, and in today's video I'm going to be trying some tunes that you guys have sent me for some of the new Porsches that you'll see in the game, because obviously the whole month of cars that we got, given to us were all new Porsches. So not only do we have GT3 RS, 911 Raleigh, GT3R, and all the way over here, the new Turbo S, which is what I'm driving right now. But like I said, I've tested and driven all of these cars, and some of them I found really interesting and really fun to drive, and so I asked you guys, for people that will end up spending a lot more time with these cars than me, testing and building and doing all that sort of stuff. If you've built anything interesting, anything fun, to send them over to me. If you want to do this in the future and you want me to try and use your tune in future videos, you can feel free to go and join my Discord. Link to that is down below. You can join it and send tunes over if you really want to and all that sort of stuff. So in today's video, like I said, I'm going to try a couple of your tunes. One of them that I want to try is actually on this Turbo S. Someone sent me a tune for this thing, and apparently they built it to the top of S1 class for off-road racing. He said he got a bad time of 158 on the Tapalpa trail, whatever that is. We'll have a look at it in a minute. And he said it can easily be beaten based off the times that he's gotten, and he can probably do top 1000. So I'm going to try and use this tune and see if it's actually good. Also, someone else has said to me that this specific car, the 911 Turbo S, is also worse mod for mod than the 911 Carrera S that's in this game, which is kind of weird, because, like, why would it be worse? But apparently mod for mod, it is actually worse than that. So it's a bit strange, but I mean, I can believe you. If you've tested it out and you've done it yourself, it probably is. Anyway, let's try this guy's tune. 593-235-415. That is the code for this thing. Off-road handling. There you go. Rally suspension, off-road compact. Yep, that's pretty alright. Slap this on, and let's try that. I don't know if I want to try that on the same track that he tried it out. We'll have a look at what that looks like, and then we'll obviously go and find something similar that I'm more familiar with, because if I go on a track that I haven't driven properly on, then I might... This is the one that he was on. Actually, that's not too bad. We could probably try this track. So he did this in S1 and managed to squeeze out the top 1000 time, pretty much. As you can see, I don't think I've ever done like a proper run on this track. Yeah, Ford Escort with a flag time. I don't even know what or when that was. But let's try it out. Let's do a run with this thing. Let's see. It looks so funny on those big chunky tires though as well. Brabus kit all around. Turning this thing into the Brabus rocket. I don't really care for the Brabus rocket. Some guy in one of my previous videos, when I was testing this car out, I was saying that it looks a bit mid, and he said, I can't believe I said that, the Brabus rocket looks mid. I don't know, man. Some cars do really well and they look really good with loads of carbon parts on them, but anything that's like weirdly aftermarket carbon parts on them, I don't know, I just feel like it ruins the car. And this is one of them that I just genuinely feel like it just doesn't look that great with all the carbon bits on them, on the car. There are parts of this car that I would end up changing for it better, but I don't know if Brabus did a good job with it. It just looks a bit tacky. Yeah, it's just me. That's just my opinion on it. Maybe don't cut too much on that section there, because I'm smacking into like bushes and it slows me down. I can see by the way it accelerates. This thing's really good, by the way. Grip wise, it's very good around corners of that. It's also on a track that I don't really go on, like, ever. As you've seen, I don't really have like a legit time even on this track. It is fairly simple though. Whoa. He's up. It doesn't slide out wide at all. As in, like, this thing stays so planted and so controlled the entire time. What were our rear tires? It was like 335, something ridiculous, or 325s in the rear. This thing has all the grip in the world. And even off-road it does as well. Oh my god, that's too slow. I can go faster in those corners. Oh, at the very end. Yeah, of course. Of course it was at the very end. It's definitely a me problem. Okay, I can go faster for some of the corners though. At least I know now. At first game, you're gonna need to mess with it a little bit because launching this thing is annoying. You launch it and it hits limiter instantly. Well, it doesn't even hit limiter instantly. Like, I think it goes out of launch control and it immediately smacks limiter. I'll just change gears quicker next time I do it, but... Oh, I didn't clip it? I'm dumb. Oh, that's fine. We'll try again. There are different flags on this game where sometimes you can, like, go so far inward and not even, like, touch the actual flag itself. And it'll still count as you actually get the checkpoint. So figuring out where you can cut is also a really good thing in this. Keep it in third because it's got lots and lots of power. Again, try to stay a little bit more in the middle of the track because the very first time I'd done a run on this, I was like clipping these bushes and it was slowing me down. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Try to do a nice clean lap. Or clean run. Stay in third. All the power in the world to pull out of the corner. I also tried to stay more in the middle of the track because if you guys remember in the first run, I was kind of cutting a little bit. And I clipped some of the bushes here. I think it was this corner here. This really long section here. I smacked into some bushes and it was slowing me down. But I wasn't able to accelerate as much, so... Tried to stay more in the center of the track. There you go. I think this is alright. I think I'm still driving a bit too slow. I think there is a way I can probably speed up a little bit. That water really slows me down there. Like, just slight lift off with this thing, the front end just points inwards. It's a really good, it's a really good car for off-road racing. Really, really good car. I don't think it's gonna be like meta or anything. It doesn't feel like it. I think I said this as well in the video where I was testing the car out. You can kind of feel it, right, when you're driving. Even the initial drives, you can kind of feel it, that it can be meta, you know, a little bit, but this one just isn't. So he got, what, 158.7. I think I beat him by like 3 seconds already. This is my very first clean run that I've done, so let's have a look at where that puts me in the world. 155. Or 156, I think it was. Something like that. It was 155 something when I looked at the clock last. What's happening? Where am I going? Game? Oh yeah, 155.7. That's not too bad. Let's have a look where I am in the world with that. So there's someone in my club that's still faster than me by like 7 seconds. So you can see how not meta this is. You can see how not meta this car is. If I see something that's 7 seconds faster than me, that is a enormous margin. Meaning that there are cars in this game that can absolutely obliterate this thing. I want to see what the car is though. We'll have a look in my club as well. It is a top 1000 car, so there you go. Let's have a look here. McLaren F1, significantly faster. 9 seconds faster from Dom with the McLaren F1. That's ridiculous. And then the Bone Shaker as well. Yeah, Bone Shaker makes sense. Bone Shaker makes a lot of sense for that to be at the top. Should I try and maybe beat my time? Maybe get a little bit quicker than 155? I think I could probably do it. Here, I'll try 1 or 2 more attempts just to try and see if I can beat it. If I can't beat it, then I'll just cut to the part where I say I can't beat it. Wow, so much faster. It's like a second faster. There's nothing crazy or worth really mentioning, but yeah, it's like maybe less than a second faster. So it's nothing too crazy. Yeah, there's cars that are much faster than this when it comes to this. It can be a top 1000 car, but I mean, it doesn't really mean that it's a very good car overall for this. I'm not even blaming your tune. I'm just blaming the car itself, that it might not be that crazy, you know. There you go, 673. I've definitely driven a lot worse cars than this, I'll tell you that now. Alright, next one I want to try out is actually for the Golden Touge, which is pretty interesting because I don't really get a lot of tunes for this anymore. And it's for the new 911 GT3R, so let's have a quick little look at that, because that thing is an absolute beast. There it is. It is S2998, it's still rear-wheel drive. Pretty interesting. 1100 horsepower. 1100 horsepower for the Golden Touge is way too much. Way too much. Absolutely unnecessary amount of power for the Golden Touge. For the people that don't know about this track, you'll see it. You will see it. 677-846-336. That's the share code. Try it for yourselves. Okay. It says grip road all-wheel drive, but the drivetrain is rear-wheel drive, so I don't know how he's messed up with that. First of all, he's messed up with saying that. It does have 1100 horsepower, 800 newton meters of torque, only weighs 1,200 kilos. Weight is good. Weight being very low is very good. It says it's very snappy corners, although I'm struggling to keep grip. Would someone try it out and able to give me some feedback? Really appreciate it. Got 356. This I think he put it in the wrong chat. It's supposed to be for tuning help and stuff like that. Because I have 2 different chats there. Where one of them is for people that are looking for help, and the other one is, you know, share codes for me to try in videos. But I'm gonna try this in the video anyway, because why not? Maybe I can give him some. Wait, what am I doing? Maybe I can give him some advice, some help, and see. Someone already has, apparently. He said that he needs to tune the suspension and ARBs. Some cars react aggressively with high levels of downforce in the front, so increasing the front tire width one time, even 2 in rare cases, helps push out the length on the track width too. It'd be very useful for more stability. So there you go. Already someone is giving him some advice on how to build this thing correctly. So we'll see if he's changed it or if he's done a good job. So 356, he said, is what he's gotten on the Golden Touge. So the fastest S2 car that we have around this track is the fastest S2 car that we have around the track is the Elemental RP1. We also have a KTM Expo, and we also have a Porsche. Actually, that's a lie. That is definitely a lie, because there is a car that I've used in one of the previous videos, and that is the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. So that car actually got a 341 in S2 on this track. So that is the second fastest car on this track, with the fastest being the Elemental RP1. So we have a few cars at the top here, and we'll try and see how close this thing can get to them. He said that the steering is very snappy on this thing, so we'll have a look and try and judge how that plays out. And see how this thing drives, see if I enjoy it. Also, I will be driving in cockpit because it's just how I like to drive when I'm on the Golden Touge. I just feel a lot more accurate and a little bit quicker with my responsiveness when it comes to these type of corners that I'm driving here. So this is the Golden Touge. This is basically the mountain pass that's already in the game, but with walls to make it even, like, narrower and more difficult to drive around. Okay. So far, first impressions. it understeers a lot. It says it's very snappy, but it doesn't actually feel that snappy. Yeah, definitely tuning the ARBs might make a big difference here. Yeah, I feel like there are some circumstances where this thing actually understeers, so... See, like here, I feel like I could have gone so much faster there. Through that corner. With a slightly different setup. Yeah, I'm slowing down way too much for some of these corners. Like, I could be going so much faster. If you end up watching the Aston video, it was uploaded maybe like a week ago or something like that, you'll see what that thing is like around this track, and it's pretty rapid. I'm not saying that this car is slow, by the way. I am definitely not saying that this car is slow around this track, because it definitely isn't. And I can kind of work around this thing's flaws. See what I mean by understeer? Like that, my front end should be like pulling in so much better there. I just feel like at the speed that I'm driving for some of these corners, the car should be able to take them without any issues. It's a little skittish, just a little bit. Okay, here I'm actually going to slow down quite a bit because, okay, managed to get through the gap pretty nicely. I am slowing down quite a bit for some of these corners, but I think I have to though. From what my first impressions are, it just understeers a bit too much. The back end definitely never steps out either. Like, not once have I ever had an issue with this thing trying to oversteer on me. Ever. And for a rear-wheel drive car with 1100 horsepower, for that never to happen, it's a good sign in terms of like differential tuning and gears. But it's just when I'm not on the gas, when I'm like slowing down for corners and I'm trying to take corners and accelerating out of corners a little bit, it just feels a little understeery for some of them in some areas. I've always preferred my cars to be definitely a little bit more oversteery than understeery, because when I oversteer, it's a lot easier to control and slow down. 357. What did he say that he got? I feel like it's something similar. Did he get something similar as well? He got 356. So there you go. I got pretty much a very similar time to him. Yeah, there's a few issues with this car. In terms of the way it handles in some of the corners, in some of the situations. So, I definitely don't think that this needs this much power, first of all. I feel like if you can get this thing lighter instead of being this powerful, I'd go for that. But I don't know, maybe this is the best setup in terms of power and weight. So, if it is, then it is, right? I can't really say anything about that. But it is definitely... It is definitely the stiffness of your suspension that kind of messes with this thing. It makes it way too understeery. You're putting so much stress on those tires on the front end, with suspension not absorbing anything. No lean from the car or anything like that. And then it ends up pushing the cars just a little bit too wide. Let's say that said, that track width to help with stability is definitely a big thing too as well. I'm trying it again because I want to go faster. Even though I wasn't particularly fast the last attempt. I'm pushing this thing a little bit harder this time. Maybe a bit too hard in some situations there because I start scraping off the walls. as you can see. But I am definitely pushing this thing to its limit. You cannot doubt that. I'm like scraping off everything. I'm not even like crashing into it. I'm just pushing this thing to the very edge of the track. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew it. I'm expecting the understeer to happen, you know, sometimes. And then I pull it into the corner a little bit too close to the corner. And then I expect it to like kind of slip out a tiny bit. Which it just doesn't do. I'm actually really tempted to try and make my own tune for this. Or just at least alter this. Well, I wish I could alter this tune. Just to see. But I want to try and mess with a little bit of a tune on this thing. And I want to try and do a run. I'm not going to show you the entire process because I feel like it'll be very boring. But just, I'll show you a little bit. I feel like I can go into corners with a lot more pace without the front end like stepping out and understeering. I feel like my back end will step out before my front end will. Which is kind of how I like to tune my cars anyway, but I knew that was going to happen. I'll keep that in anyway. I'll keep that in. I just want to test out the way my tune works on this track compared to his. I mean, it's not overly different, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm a little bit more confident that my front end won't understeer into things now. Definitely feels a lot more planted. Also, I'm not sharing this soon because I literally spent like 2 minutes on this, by the way. I just went into the garage, I slapped on... Oops, that's my fault. I slapped on whatever parts I thought were appropriate, so I made this thing a little lighter than what it was before. It is now 1,200 kilos, so it's about 30 kilos lighter. I don't know why I went so slow there. That was my fault. For whatever reason, I thought it was this corner, or this set of corners that was coming up. I drove too slow there. So this might affect my time. A lot. Hopefully it doesn't, but it might actually affect it quite a lot. Yeah, that's okay. I was gonna slow down a little bit more there as well, but yeah, I'm not sharing this soon. There's so much more potential to build out of the tune that I've made right now for this car that I'm not going to share this crappy tune. I do still think it's a little bit better than his due to the fact that it doesn't understeer everywhere. It just feels a little bit more planted, and I feel like my back end will step out way before my front end will, which is a lot more appropriate and how I think this car should be built, in my opinion anyway. It's just how I prefer it. You can see how, like, more... It just feels, like, more agile and, like... I just feel more confident driving this thing at its limit. I don't know. The brakes on this thing are still unbelievable. Like, just so good. Whoops. There's a little bit of oversteer. But I pulled a 351 with a terrible run as well. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, there's so much room for improvement with this thing. If you can tune it a little bit better. So, yeah, definitely adjust your anti-roll bars. Adjust the way your suspension setup works as well. Usually, if the front end is way too soft, it'll end up oversteering a bit too much. The more you try and stiffen the front end, the less understeer, or the less oversteer you'll end up getting, and you'll end up getting more and more understeers. But if you have a really stiff front end, that thing will just end up any sort of movement in the suspension just isn't going to be there, and it's going to go straight into the tires, and the tires are going to start to slip off the road basically. Also, adjusting camber works a lot as well with a little bit of toe adjustment too. But yeah, just mess around with it. Just try it out for yourself, and I guarantee you'll be able to make it faster. Sure, you can make my tune so much faster than what I've built here in like the 2 minutes, not even like, maybe like a minute that I spent just slapping this build together right now. You can even make this thing even faster than before. But here's the stats, by the way, because I didn't show you. 1,111 horsepower, and it weighs 1,204 kilos. So it's a little bit lighter and a little bit less powerful than his, but you don't actually need all that power for this track if you're going to build something for that. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching today's video. I feel like it's going to be a little bit longer than the old usual. See, like, look how easy this thing is to descend sideways like this. I feel like you're going to have to force it quite a bit, but it's so planted, and like I said, understeer just doesn't really exist in this thing. You lift off, and the front end just points in the direction that you want to go, and it just goes that way. Whereas with his, you'd get like a little bit of a delay. Like, it'll start to understeer, it'll be like this, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then now I can like grip up again after it's slowed down a little bit. You can make this thing so agile. Like, when he said that this thing is very twitchy or very sharp with the steering, I expected it to be like this, but it's not like this at all. This is what sharp steering looks like. You know? Like, you push it to the corner and it goes that way instantly. There's no like delay or anything like that. It's just how it is, right? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, then of course subscribe. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and of course I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.